With the fan events, what they like to do is, we're like a big social club, and they like to get together, perhaps see some on the buses stuff, see a display of the stuff, but then go around the film locations or the TV locations, then have a talk and get special guests down. Because the beauty of the fan club was, we had great support from Ronnie Wolfe, Ronalds Chesney, Brian Izzard, Harry Fielder, who was in a lot of things, Anna Karen. They all came to our events and were willing participants, and they were great supporters of the fan club. And of course, if you get stars there, that brings the fans down, you know. And so we do, apart from the COVID times now, we used to do one here in Boreham Wood, which was always very popular, and then we'll do one at Pontins Prestatyn, where the movie was made, because a lot of the locations are still there. You can still stay on the same holiday camp as it. And we have a family that fly from Canada to come to our events. And they turned up once and I thought that's it, but no, they keep coming back. I mean, they tie in the visit with a visit to the UK, but they time it so that they can come to our events. So, I mean, because it was shown around the world on the about 38 countries. Again, because buses is something everybody can relate to in all different countries. And it was America, parts of America, New Zealand, Canada, Australia, they all really take to on the buses. And that's why the cast went out there with the stage plays and things like that, and Reg went out there doing his own sitcom as well, and then he went on stage doing his show, and they were in great demand, and they knew they'd put basically bums on seats wherever they appeared. Well, I think you got to see it as a piece of social history. It's how it was at the time. It's not necessarily right, but that's how it was, and it was reflecting the times. And you have to remember that it was the guys that were made to look silly, and it was the women that always had the power, apart from Anna, of course, Olive, you know. And it was just naughty seaside postcard fun, like I say, that, you know, there's no violence, no swearing, anything like that. Nobody was offended at that time, because it was just the way society was. All right, society knows better now, but even so, you put all these old sitcoms on and they get great viewing figures, you know. And the TV people seem to not realise that, you know, good comedy is good comedy, and yet they easily get offended by some of the content, and yet they can show soaps where they before the 9 o'clock watershed, and they can put murders, beatings, all things like that on. Nobody could play because it's a soap, but because it's a comedy, you know. But it was how it was in them days. It was banter in the workplace. In them days it was big industries and everything, and everyone got nicknames one way or another, and it was never aggressive, never a thing. Like they call the women birds, but that's how it was at the time. You had Page 3 in the Sun and all this going on, and they were just reflecting the times then, and it's now just a piece of social history and should be treated as such. I think the fact that ITV3 keeps showing it and a whole new generation are enjoying it shows what a good comedy it is. And usually bank holidays and everything, they show the movies again. They always know when they put that on, it's going to get good viewing figures for them. And there's so much reality TV now that it's a shame, because people love good comedy. Like I say, whether it's Dad's Army, Heidi High, Steptoe and Son, they're all about fools and horses. It's all about working class people and the situation they're in, and all hoping that things will get better. And that's what the working class people relate to, struggling to get by, paying the bills, hoping things will get better, trying to improve their lives. But a lot of the sitcoms and that, they always end up back where they started, with Steptoe and Son, Fools and Horses until right at the end. Dad's Army, they've got the war going on, you know. But it's the British spirit, that's what it's all about, these comedies, the British spirit and the British sense of humour.